Hello everybody, it's Pineapple here, back with another video. So today we are talking about the adorable little monsters that are Purrely. So if you're unfamiliar with Purrely, they're a series of level 1 monsters that like to exceed summon and attach their quick play spells in order to gain different effects. And they make a really annoying towers who spins your stuff back on your turn. And they also draw 6 in your standby because they are evil, evil monsters. But that said, let's hop into the card by card. First up, we're on the Dark World engine. All your quick plays are going to discard a card in order to summon a Purrely from deck, and subsequently you need, something to supplement the discard cost, and the Dark World engine works perfectly. That's why we're on 3 snow, because it is a soft once per turn, not even a soft once per turn, not even a once per turn, I can't speak today, and it lets you add another Dark World card, including itself, so you can just add this continuously in order to, keep discarding snows in order to eventually get to Brow, who will let you draw a card, so that you never really lose advantage. We then have 3 copies of Purrely. If it's no more special, you get to excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you do, you get to add a excavated Purrely spell trap to your hand and place the others on the bottom of your deck in any order. And during your main phase, you get to reveal a Purrely quick play spell from your hand, and then you get to XZ summon a Purrely XYZ from your extra deck that mentions the XZs, the quick play that you revealed, and use both Purrely and the card in your hand as the material. This effect is not that great. It's mostly just a level 1 card that, excavates and adds more cards. It should be noted, though, that the special summon effect or on summon effect is not a once per turn, meaning that you can excavate and add as much as you want, but you are gambling a lot. We have Purrely. This card's really, really good for the deck. It does pretty much everything you want and makes it playable. If it's no more special, you get to add a Purrely card from your deck to your hand, except a quick play. Why would we add quick plays? But it lets you target a Purrely quick play spell in your graveyard, special summon a Purrely XYZ from your extra deck that mentions the card, using it as a material, which is just really, really good. Usually you want to use this for Delicious to go into Plump to, make a really, really big Noir. But the downside is that both of these are hard once per turns, which really, really does suck because, you could grab multiples, but it is a hard once per turn. We then have some hand traps, 3 copies of Drone Lockbird, 3 copies of Gamma and Driver. Just some really, really powerful cards that, deal with a lot of obnoxious stuff in this format. For spells, we're on 1 Herald of the Abyss. You pay 1,500 life points, and then you declare a monster type and attribute, and your opponent must send 1 face-up monster with the declared type and attribute from the field to the graveyard if possible. And then for the rest of the turn, your opponent can't activate the effects of monsters with the sent monster's name. It's a hard once per turn. This is a thrust target. It's used to specifically other, Purrely cards like Noir. It does very specific things that allow you to out towers because it forces the player to send. It doesn't, affect the monster, it affects the player. We then have 2 copies of Talents as more thrust targets and just a generic card to get more draws, shuffle cards from our opponent's hand back into the deck. 3 copies of Thrust, it's just a really good card. Everyone's on Troll and the like, and so subsequently Thrust is just a super, super powerful card. We then have 3 copies of Delicious Memory. You choose a monster on the field until the end of the next turn. It can't be destroyed by battle. And after you choose the card, then you get to optionally apply the effect to discard a card and special summon a level 1 Purrely from deck. Additionally, this is the one that is associated with Plump, and subsequently its effect, its bonus effect, is that it allows your Purrely XYZs to gain 300 attack and defense for each material attached to it, which is very, very important. We then have 3 copies of Happy. Happy has you choose a card in the field until the end of the next turn. If it would be destroyed by card effects, it's not destroyed. This lets you play around stuff like Ogre. It's very nice. Additionally, again, you can discard a card, special summon a level 1 Purrely from deck. And this is one lets you attack up to a number of times of happiness are attached to it as material. We then have Pretty Memory. Pretty Memory allows you to again, each player gains 1,000, which means you can play it at any time, specifically in the draw phase to play around Droll. Discard a card, special summon a level 1 Purrely from deck, and it allows you your XYZs when it's attached to once per turn send another card you control to the graveyard, and then banish a card your opponent controls. Maybe banish. No, it's just attach it as a material. I can't even remember what they do. We then have Sleepy Memory. This card is really, really good. Sleepy is unbelievable because it enables you to draw 6. So for the next battle or effect damage you would take, it becomes 0, and then you can discard a card, special summon it again. And during your opponent's standby phase, if it's attached to a Purrely monster, they can draw a card. So you can use this to draw 3 with Plump, and then you can rank up into Noir on their standby and draw another 3. So this is just a really, really good card, just for recruiting advantage on the crackback. We then have 3 copies of My Friend Purrely. It has you pay 500 life points, and then you get to show your opponent 3 Purrely memories, and then they choose one for you to add from your deck to your hand. You're just going to reveal 3 of the same ones, so it basically says add a Purrely quick play. Additionally, if a Purrely Exceeds leaves the field by casting an opponent's card, even during the damage step, you get to add up 3 Purrely quick play spells with different names from your graveyard to your hand. So even if they out your big idiot, you get to recur all the advantage, which is really, really good. We have 1 copy of Stray Purrely Street. It says that your Purrely cards can't be targeted the turn they're special summoned, which is just really, really good. Additionally, during the end phase, you get to attach a Purrely card from your deck directly to an Xyz monster that was special summoned this turn, which is just super good because you can attach something like a Sleepy, something like Pretty, whatever you need to just gain more advantage. We then have 1 copy of Purrely. It has you target a Purrely Xyz, and then you special summon with a different rank using that target as the material, but you return it to the extra deck during the end phase of the next turn. It's treated as an Xyz material, and you transfer the materials to that monster. Additionally, you can banish it from your grave, target up to 3 Purrely monsters in your grave, shuffle them into the deck. This is just really good for recurring advantage and cycling stuff back. But mostly it's used to make Noir on your opponent's turn and draw 6 cards. We then have 2 copies of Zeus in the extra, 1 copy of Happiness for OTKs, 2 copies of Noir. If you're unfamiliar, it is a unaffected monster while it has 5 or more materials by your opponent's activated effect specifically, and you can detach 2 materials from it to target a card your opponent controls, shuffle it into the deck, or if it's you can shuffle a card in the graveyard as well. Additionally, you can actually summon it using a rank 2 monster you control with 5 or more materials. Happiness is the same requirement. 1 copy of Downer to make our Zeus even bigger. 1 copy of Happiness. At the end of the damage step, if it battled, you get to add a Purrely card from your deck to your hand. If it has Happy Memory, you can have the attack of 1 face-up monster on the field. And up to thrice per turn, when you activate a Purrely quick play spell, you get to attach that card on the field to it as material, and then return a card your opponent spell trap your opponent controls to the hand. We then have 2 copies of Beauty. Once per turn, you get to target an effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effect until the end of the turn. And it's a quick play if it has Purrely Pretty Memory as a material. And up to thrice per turn, when you activate a quick play spell, you get to attach that card on the field as a material to this monster. We then have 2 copies of Plump. Plump is fantastic. This is the one that you mainly want to be going into because it lets you target up to 2 spell traps in your grave, attach them as a material to this card, which is really, really good because you can attach pretty much anything. It makes your Noir really, really huge. And then like all the other ones, if it has Delicious Memory, it's a quick effect, and up to thrice per turn, you can, when you activate a Purrely quick play spell, you get to attach it as a material to this card. We then have 1 copy of Sylvan Prince Bright. This card is fantastic because as you attach material from this card, activate the top card of your deck, and if it's a spell trap, you just get to add it to your hand. So if you want to keep extending with your ones, you can just hope you hit a guy. It doesn't come up a ton, but it's just really good when you're in really desperate corner cases. 1 Leerless Ensemble Nightingale to make a really big Zeus going second, and 1 Ensemble Robin to just hit really, really hard. Not hit really hard, but just bounce all their stuff back. And then 1 copy of Relinquished Anima, because if they don't play around it, you can win the game. So with that, let's hop into some gameplay. So our next match is up against a very funny rogue deck, Plunder. We will start with Sleepy. We'll pitch our Herald, and we will try to excavate. We'll find the Leap, which is really good. Leap is just so good to find. We'll fire off Happiness and get out the ever lovely Lily in draw phase, and then get our field spell. From here, we have pretty much everything. We can do whatever we want. We'll fire the field spell, and my friend, we will go grab ourselves Delicious here so that we can, attempt to attach. We'll fire off Purrely. We'll make a Plump here, and then we will attach 2 cards. We will set Leap and pass back to our opponent. End phase, we will attach another copy of Sleepy. They'll imperm our Plump. We'll chain it to attach more materials here. So it's a 7 mat. In standby, we will rank up into an 8 mat Noir. We'll draw 2 cards here. It's a draw, which is just such a good draw. They'll fire off Terraforming. We're kind of fine with that. We will elect not to play around Gamma because I'm a greedy bastard. And we don't get immediately called by, which really sucks here, but whatever. They'll fire off Shipyard. They'll pitch White, which is really bad for us, but we can chain Noir twice to shuffle back White, and they will concede to that. I don't know why this card can shuffle from the grave, but it can. So, I'm going to use it. Yeah, it just shows that Noir's shuffle effect is, again, really, really powerful. So our first match is really just going to demonstrate exactly just how powerful Noir is, specifically against backrow decks. We will start with normal summoning Lily. Unfortunately, our hand is very bad. We'll grab a copy of the ever lovely My Friend. We'll fire My Friend here, and we will grab ourselves a copy of Delicious. From here, we'll fire Delicious, targeting Lily, and we'll special out Purrely. We will trigger Brow, and we will trigger just regular Purrely. We'll find Pretty off the top, which is really good for us. We'll draw a second Pretty. We'll make a Plump here. We'll fire off Pretty to gain 1,000. We'll attach with Plump, special out another Purrely, and we'll pray we find something else. Unfortunately, here we're going to find exactly what we need, which is another delicious, which is very, very good for us. We'll fire another pretty to get out a third Purrely, and unfortunately, I do believe we are going to whiff here, which really sucks for advantage, but it's not the end of the world here. We'll make Ensemble Robin. We'll attach two with our ever lovely Plump, make a Noir, and pass back to our opponent here. They'll start with Duality. They'll find just whatever they want. They'll take the new counter trap intact. But we really don't care here because we can spin pretty much everything in the end phase. They'll go to end phase and we will proceed to spin 3, at which point the game is effectively over. We'll draw for turn its Droll. We'll fire off my friend to get, more. We'll get Sleepy here. We'll pitch our Droll because they're not going to use it. We'll get Lily. We'll go for our field spell. And this is effectively the end of the game. They can't really play here since they can't target. We will attempt to make another Plump, and then we will attach a whole bunch of cards. We'll fire off Delicious, and they will concede as we're about to make a Happiness for OTK. So for our third replay, I thought we would showcase the Happiness OTK. We will begin by going second, of course. We're up against Mayakashi, which I know is not a great example, but it was the best one I had. They'll go through Mayakashi plays, just, climbing up into an 11. And we'll just have to sit here and twiddle our thumbs as we have not drawn any interactions. But that's completely fine. They'll go all the way up to 11, bring back their guy, link for a 2, and then they'll start to climb again. They'll set 2 and pass back to us. We just have to pray they haven't drawn their hand card. They'll flip up Mayhem. We'll grab regular Purrely here, trigger Brow, trigger Purrely. We'll see if we can find anything off the top. We find my friend and Sleepy, but we'll take my friend just to be safe here. We'll add another copy of Snow since we're going to be discarding even more. Still in draw, we'll flip up Delicious. We'll grab out Lily. We'll trigger Lily for the field spell just so that we can, protect from targeting effects. And from here, we're pretty much off to the races. We'll fire off our Street, which is really good for us. We'll fire my friend. From here, we will grab a copy of Happiness. We really want to OTK here. We will proceed to rank up into early Happiness so that we can, bounce their back row to their hand. We'll special out regular Purrely. I probably should have gone for Plump just to make this super big Happiness even bigger. We'll find another Happiness off the top, which is really, really good. We'll grab another My Friend here. We'll bounce the other back row. Special out. We'll fire off Purrely again and find Pretty, which is really good for us, so now we can make a 5 material. We'll fire Pretty, attach it. We'll both gain 1,000. Grab out another Lily. From here, we'll rank up into Happiness, make Ensemble Robin, and our opponent will concede knowing what is coming. So, for our final match of the day, we're up against Runic Furhire, which is a really, weird deck that I think is going nowhere in the upcoming format. We'll start with Sleepy. We'll grab another copy of Purrely. We'll find nothing because we're unlucky. We'll fire off Pretty here to get out Lily. We'll trigger Lily here to get my friend. From here, we will proceed to go to the main phase. We will rank up into Plump here because we have hard drawn Delicious. We'll fire off my friend and we will grab ourselves another copy of Sleepy. We'll fire Sleepy here, attach it, as well as attaching a bunch in Grave. We will normal summon Purrely here, and we will just see if we can find anything of value. We find Happy, which is pretty good for us. We'll make Ensemble Robin, fire off Happy, attach it to Plump, and then rank up into a 7 Mat Noir. This is pretty good for us. They will start with Slumber to get out Hugin, which is very annoying. They'll grab Fountain here, and we kind of just have to stare at them. We'll draw on the standby, and we haven't drawn any hand traps, which really sucks, but fortunately it's going to be more than enough. We'll start with Tip, which is good for them. They'll grab Freezing Curses. Fortunately, we can play around this Freezing Curses pretty well. They'll attempt a Flashing Fire, but it's protected by our Happiness, I believe. I can't remember which one does what. They'll attempt to draw 3, and we will shuffle it away. They will fire off Destruction. They'll normal summon Rex, and they'll get Rookie. From here, they'll fire off Rookie in order to get beat, and from here we will Ensemble Robin that back to hand, as we know the last card is Freezing Curses. From here they will concede, and that will be the game. So, my thoughts on the deck after, playing it. The best part of it is very easily the Dark World draw engine. It's very necessary in order to keep playing. But 2, it's very easy to just draw unplayable, and you can be very fragile to the slightest hand trap. The deck seems very, high rolly, I guess would be the word for it, and somewhat inconsistent, despite the fact that the new cards do pretty much everything you could ask for. It just feels really hard to play, and like most of the time you don't even reach the ceiling. I think it's a little overhyped. I think it's one of those decks that looks really good in the OCG and, might slide. But I definitely can see that, a Towers deck that spins a bunch of cards back on your turn and draw 6 can be very, very frustrating. But yeah, I think it'll be a solid deck, but it definitely has that potential to just, you open no engine, or you open engine and, you get immediately hand trapped and the game is now done. But that said, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.